Okay, so yesterday, Tuesday night, the Ravens defeated the Cowboys 34-17. The Ravens will improve to 7-5, and the Cowboys will degrade and downgrade to 3-9. So Nate, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on the game?
How about the Cowboys? Oh man, I love trolling Cowboys fans. But all jokes aside, I mean, hey man, it's just another case of bad luck for the Cowboys. What else can I tell you? And by the way, this is gonna be. I can't remember. I read on NFL on Fox. This is an official losing season for the Cowboys. There's no way they can have a winning season out of this. Um, I mean, I'll be honest. Any Dalton did his thing. He was pretty solid. I mean, 31 for 48 with 285 yards, 2 touchdowns. But that interception kind of threw him off. I mean, it's not bad numbers, but it just wasn't enough to get them through. Ezekiel Elliott had himself a pretty decent game. Not bad, but not good either. 18 rushes for 77 yards, got him down the field enough. Michael Gallup had a touchdown with 86 yards and 7 receptions. Amari Cooper also had a touchdown. Again, the problems fall on the defense. The defense wasn't doing their thing, and they weren't really doing it that well. I'll tell you what though, Jalen Smith had 12 tackles. That's a big thing. But that's just one person. You know what I mean? Everybody else needs to step up. Jordan Lewis and Chidole. Am I saying this name right, Mario? Chidole Awa.
Chidobe Awuzie.
All right, yeah, I'll let you say that. They
Awuzie.
both had, yeah,
Awuzie, that's what it is.
they
Chidobe Awuzie, yeah.
they both had 5 tackles. Jordan Lewis and Dorrance Armstrong also had a tackle for loss. So I mean, man, it's just the defense. I mean, the offense did their job and they got a couple touchdowns out of it. They were running down the field like they're supposed to do. It's just the defense isn't backing up their offensive performance. I
I'll
mean,
um I'll say this. I'll say this. Sorry to cut you off, but I'll say this. A key piece to the reason why this team lost is because of Greg Zuerlein. I'm gonna keep it real with you. When your kicker makes 1 out of 4 field goals, think
that's
about
a
this.
problem.
Right. 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, you only make one. You missed 9 out of possible 12 points that you could have had for your team. Now the score was basically a 7 point differential. You get those 9 points, that turns into an 8 point game. With an 8 point game, that's a one possession game. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I mean stuff like Greg Zerline, let me tell you something, man. He did a poor job. That's the loser of the game for me right there, is Greg Zerline right there. Because there is no excuse for you missing 3 out of 4 field goals. Everybody has a bad night, but that was just horrible. And that basically sums up the Cowboy season. That cannot, even the basics for the Cowboys, they're not good.
mm,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like even the stuff that's supposed to go right. A good kicker like Greg Zerline, who has basically the foot that could kick from here to the Grand Canyon. He didn't show up.
yeah,
He missed. He was short on field goals. He went wide left on field goals. Anything wrong that could have happened to Greg Zuerlein happened. He made both his extra points, but missing 3 out of 4 field goals, that's a potential 9 points for your team right there.
yeah, right.
And so I mean, I'm sorry, but he's definitely the biggest part to blame for this. And you can blame the defense too. But I mean, like, if he would have just got some of those 9 points, it could have been a one possession game. It would have been 26-34, and Cowboys could have had a chance to drive down the field and at least tie the game. But because he didn't get those 9 points, they'd had no chance to coming back. But I'll let you continue, Nate. I just wanted to
Yeah,
point that.
yeah. I agree with you. I don't got nothing to add to that. Aside from that, defense didn't show up. The rushing game didn't do their job either. We say this on the show a lot. We'll continue to say it. You're making Andy Dalton throw 48 passes. That is absolutely unnecessary. You cannot make your quarterback throw almost 50 times in one game. We've seen this a lot this year, and we'll
Right.
continue to say it for as excuse me, for as long as it continues to happen. You got to step up the rushing game. You cannot make it. You're gonna like freaking blow his arm out and making him throw that many passes. I mean, I know I'm over exaggerating, but you get my point.
Right. And one thing I want to mention is stuff like teams like the Titans and the Vikings with those elite runners that they have. Like even the Giants when Saquon's healthy, and even like sometimes with Nick Chubb and the Browns, they'll give their running back 30 touches. Like Dalvin Cook, the Vikings have said it. They want to give Dalvin Cook at least 25 touches. Like that's a lot for a runner. That's a lot of touches for a running back. And honestly, He goes 18 for 77 yards. That's just below 4.5 yards per carry, which is good. You know what I'm saying? Good credit to Elliott. But if you were think about the yards he could have got and touchdowns he could have got.
Hmm.
Honestly, Elliott, he was having they were stopping him short pretty good too, especially on that goal line. But like, think about the points he could have had if you think about the yards he could have had if you gave him like 30 touches or 25 at least. Give him another 7 touches, see what would have happened. You know, but they don't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You relied the whole game on Andy Dalton. And I'm gonna be honest, Andy Dalton didn't play bad.
Yeah, he
You know what
really
I mean?
didn't.
For a guy who threw 48 times, he didn't play too bad. There were a lot of throws that were very questionable with him, but he didn't play too bad. Um, now going to the other side of that game, the Ravens, man. You know what? I'll start. I'll take over with the Ravens since you did the Cowboys. Basically,
Mhm.
I'll take over with the Ravens. So I'm gonna be real with you. Um, if I had to point to anybody on this Ravens team that did good offensively, well, there's a lot of guys who did good offensive, few guys, but if I had to point to anybody, I'd pick Gus. I'd pick Gus Edwards.
Edwards.
I think Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. I think that rushing game was insane last game. And if you want to add Lamar Jackson to that, then go for it. I think the rushing game was ridiculous. Like I said, like we said before, the Ravens averaged 150 something rushing yards per game, and then the Cowboys let go of like 156. So we were kind of expecting this, especially with a running quarterback like Lamar. I'll start off with Lamar though. Passing, he had an okay game. It wasn't that big. You know what I'm saying? He went 12 for 17, 107 yards, 2 TDs and a pick. And he had some questionable throws too, in my opinion, Lamar. But he also had 13 rushes for 94 yards, and he had a rushing TD as well. Then you go to Gus Edwards, and Gus Edwards started off as a guy who was basically a third stringer on his running back team. And now he's kind of turning into the second or first stringer. He had 7 rushes, 101 yards. Then you go to J.K. Dobbins. He had 11 rushes, 71 yards, and a TD. So I mean, those three guys did a very good job running, and surprisingly, Mark Ingram wasn't a factor in this game. But I mean, those three guys did a great job running. They ran it down the Cowboys' throats, and they were able to make progress with the running game. As for the passing game, Marquise Brown had a touchdown, Miles Boykin had a touchdown, but they didn't have a wide receiver that went over 40 yards receiving. So I mean, if you want to give them credit there, and go ahead. And then the Ravens defense, it seemed like the whole defense stood out. It really did. Like, I mean, if I had to point to somebody, probably like Patrick Queen might be the defensive player in this game. Either him or Derek Wolf. Like, I won't go with Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen had an interception, 5 tackles, and a tackle for loss. Derek Wolf had 9 total tackles with a tackle for loss. If you want to go through everybody else, then Deshaun Elliott, the safety, had 7 tackles. Anthony Everett, he had 6. Marcus Peters had 5. 5 tackles. Pernell McPhee had 5. LJ Fort also had 5 with 2 tackles for loss. Jihad Ward had a sack. Um, Jalen Ferguson had a tackle for loss. Tyus Bowser had 4 tackles. Chuck Clark had 5. And this is what I was shocked about. This is the shocker of the game. I cannot believe, bro. I cannot believe this, because this dude has been one of my favorite players in the game since he arrived. I cannot believe Justin Tucker missed a field goal under 40 yards. I cannot believe it. Do you know this is Justin Tucker's first miss field goal under 45 yards in 71 attempts?
Really?
He's missed his first field goal under 45 yards, and the last time he missed it was 71 attempts ago.
That's crazy.
That's how big Justin Tucker. That's how elite Justin Tucker's always been. And the fact that he missed a field goal that was 36 yards, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
You like what? When do you see this dude miss? Like, he really doesn't. I think I've seen 2 times with my own eyes that he's missed in his whole career. I can't believe he missed. This is one of the most clutch kickers of all time. I cannot believe he missed. But he did go 2 for 3, adding 6 points to the game. Um, Again, that's another 3 points that could have been on the board, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, the Ravens did a decent job in general. You know what I'm saying? It's not their best game, but they did a decent job against a struggling Cowboys team. Cowboys could have made more out of their opportunities, but some missed field goals, some missed opportunities, and just defense not showing up cost them the game. So before I end this video, is there anything you want to say on the Ravens side, since we already talked about the Cowboys?
I mean, this is, I get it's against the Cowboys. It's not a statement win, but it's a win and it's something. It gives you that kind
Right.
of motivation. We all know the Ravens are struggling. They're not the same Ravens team that we saw last year, even though they have most of the pieces still. But I mean, hey, it's something. It's something to get them at least motivated once again. I don't consider it a statement win because again, you're facing a struggling Cowboys team, so it's not a statement win, but it's something. It's something. So congratulations to them. I don't know who they're facing next. So
Yeah, they're facing so the next week they're playing the Browns, then they got the Jaguars, and then to end it, I think they got the New York Giants.
yeah. So I mean, they have a chance to beat those three teams. I think the toughest opponent is going to be the Browns, of course, because the Browns have just been playing some
It might
really
be
damn good football.
hey, it might be them Giants.
The
It could
Giants
be
could be too. Yeah, the Giants could be
those
too.
two
But
teams. They can't take it lightly. They gotta put
yeah,
their foot on the gas and step forward with it if they want to have any chance at having a decent seat in the playoffs. But I mean, with that being said, congratulations to the Ravens. As to the Cowboys, they got to go back to the drawing board and find out where they're struggling. They got a bounce back game next week against or this week, I should say, against the Cincinnati Bengals, and we'll see how they do.
yeah, absolutely. And if you guys want to go check out the game highlights, I'll leave a link to that in the description down below.